And I remembered that there is this little place in town that I got rocks from before. And I got them because I was doing a rock painting project with my son. And we went there and they let us get a bag of rocks for like nothing. And I thought, I wonder if they have tan bark. So I called them up and sure enough they did. They had tan bark and gravel. And I felt bad because they kind of service like construction and big, landscaping projects. And I just didn't think I needed the volume that they're used to dealing with. And I said, I've got this little backyard and I just need tan bark and the gravel, and you guys have any? And can you deliver it? And how much do I need to buy to get a delivery? And it was reasonable. Oh my gosh, and they were happy to help. And it was much cheaper than Home Depot. Oh my gosh. No offense, Home Depot. I was thinking maybe, they would just squeeze me in between whatever important jobs they're doing. I was thinking a week or two. And he says, oh, we'll be there in an hour. And I was like, what? Now, some of you may be from small towns where, that just kind of stuff happens. But where I live, that doesn't happen. And I was thinking, an hour? No way. He said, I don't know what's going to happen. And while we can deliver, we're trying to just get this taken care of because we're worried that at some point we won't be able to do it anymore and people are going to be stuck. So let us just get that done. I have a truck that's going out your way. And I said, awesome. So I got it delivered in an hour and they showed up in a huge dump truck. What I ordered didn't need to be put in a dump truck. It wasn't that much, but they brought the dump truck. So my little was so excited and they just put the invoice in my mailbox and we went and sat out on the grass a safe distance away and just watched the dump truck unload our gravel and our tan bark. It was so much fun and they were so nice. So I got that done and then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to shovel all of that to the backyard in buckets, use a shovel and buckets to get it in the backyard because our wheelbarrow gave up the ghost. When we were doing our big project, I put too much weight on the wheelbarrow and it was a cheapy wheelbarrow that I had for a really long time and it broke and I can't fix it. It's just beyond repair. So I thought, well, there's our workout. And I happen to have a 20-year-old son who's home, who's very strong and is missing the gym. He goes every day and now he doesn't have a way to go. And we don't have things like free weights at our house because we have a gym membership and we have a small house. So I said, hey, let's get a good workout. Help me shovel up this gravel and this stuff. He's like, oh no, I need a real workout. So he's been at it trying to make weights out of found objects, like milk jugs full of sand and bricks in a backpack. He's being super inventive. It's really cool. Necessity is the mother of invention, right? And so he's working it out, but I just don't understand the logic. To me, when I was out there shoveling that damn tan bark, it sure felt like a workout to me. But what do I know? I'm not, like a person who does bodybuilding workouts, so what do I know? But I'm hoping to kind of trick him into helping me today. And the weather's been nice the last couple of days, and that's really cool. We really needed some sunny days. It was so gloomy, and I feel bad for people who live where it's gloomy this time of year all the time, but for us, we're wimps here in California. We don't like rain and we don't like cold. We like the sun, we're used to it. Our bodies have acclimated to that, and when we don't have it, we get grouchy. I don't think I even own a good winter coat. I remember when I lived in Washington State, I moved there from California because we got a transfer, and we were only there for 4 years, but when I arrived there, I brought all my clothes, and before too long, it was starting to get cold, and I wasn't paying much attention until it got really cold. A kind of cold I've never felt in my entire life. I mean, even when we go skiing in the winter, I don't ski, but if you go to the snow, there's still snow on the ground, but the sun is shining. You're like wearing a t-shirt. So I'm not used to cold, and I did not own a proper winter coat or gloves, and I froze my booty off. I just couldn't understand it. I was just like, when is this going to go away? And they were like, in about 4 months. And I'm like, what are you going to do? I mean, it felt like a natural disaster to me. I'm like, you can't live like this. I was so used to it. And then then I had to get used to it raining almost every single day. And it's, it wasn't always hard rain. It was like on lots of days, it was just like this kind of mist. But where we lived, it was on the edge of the national rainforest, and it rained like 219 days out of the year. So I had to get used to that, being wet all the time. And I have very naturally curly hair. Back then it was much longer, so I walked around with a giant head of frizzy hair all the time. Had to get used to that. I mean, these aren't real life problems, but I was in my 20s and it seemed pretty tragic then. Yeah, my fingers froze. I remember I had this old Jeep Wrangler, and I went to go open it up in the morning, and I forced the lock, and I broke the handle because it was frozen, and I didn't realize that the door handle and the lock had frozen. And I should have, like warmed it up and defrosted it. Instead, I was just forcing it open, wondering what the heck is going on here, and I ended up breaking it. And then discovered black ice. I've never ever seen black ice in my whole life. It looked like a wet spot in the cement. And I went spinning around and ended up in a ditch. Had to get pulled out by somebody with a winch. It was crazy. It's weird how when you live somewhere your whole life, you just think that's just life, You don't realize that other places things are different. That being said, after 4 years of living there, I came back here and didn't buy an umbrella, and it started to rain, California rain, which is pitiful. And people were saying, oh, do you need an umbrella? Do you need an umbrella? I'm like, are you kidding? This isn't rain. And I remember the news saying, oh, it's another rainy day. Be careful out there. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is piddly. This is silly. Yeah, so we got some nice weather, so hopefully we can get outside a little bit. I mean, we're not supposed to be leaving. If we go to the grocery store, we're supposed to go to the closest grocery store to our house. Lucky for us, we have plenty of grocery stores close to us. And if we go out, walking and taking an exercise, it should be around our house, as close to our house as possible. I think too many people were jumping in their car and taking off to the beach and to the mountains and, doing all those things that they never have time to do when they have to work during the week. And what happened was our public parks or regional parks, they got really, really crowded with people, and it kind of defeated the the purpose of shelter in place, so they had to end up closing them. Everybody thought the same thing. Oh, it's outdoors. We can all easily be a safe distance from each other. And I mean, I guess they thought it was going to be okay, but if everybody thought that, that's a lot of people flooding the local parks. Having a little nice weather means you can, go in your backyard and do stuff. We actually ate lunch in the backyard yesterday. Oh my gosh, it was so nice. I take that for granted, Sometimes we just don't even think to do it, but because of everything that's going on right now, it's like, it feels like a holiday. It's just like, oh, let's go have lunch out in the backyard. There are some good things that are coming out of this. I don't think they outweigh the scary and the sad stuff, but there are some good things. Kind of weird, huh? That's okay. I love it. And I am so excited to paint it once it's poured in silicone, because I have some ideas. I'm going to do a couple different things. Now, making the mold, I don't know how that's going to go. I'm just going to give it my best shot. I am not an experienced mold maker, so this will be a challenge for me. I think this little baby, here we go, is going to go back out in the oven. Good afternoon, everyone. I decided to go ahead and get this baby molded. I think we talked about it in the last video. It's all done, and I molded it, which means I did this lovely business to it. Layers and layers of silicone. This is a different one, and I'm gonna unmold that right now. And so this was the half of the mold. I did the whole body, but I didn't like the way it looked. And when I took it apart, the head was floppy, and I didn't want to have to put a wire into it because I liked the way the floppy head looked. So I cut the body in half. I just cut it completely in half, cut the mold in half. This is what it looks like. I'll show you the inside. And this is kind of the fruit of my labor there. She is so, so cute. And I had been making all these mermaids, and I was really liking the way they were turning out. I thought, you know, she isn't meant to be an alien. She is meant to be a mermaid. And I thought, oh, enough with the mermaids already. But I can't help it. I just love them as mythical creatures. Everybody's got their mythical creature that they love. And it's all good, right? So I decided mermaids it was for me, even though they're super trendy right now and so girly. She just poses so adorably. I just really like it. Okay, so that's her top half. So what I did was I molded a tail and a fluke. I didn't do them together. Okay, I am back, and I painted on another layer, and I put a little seam here, and I'm gonna cut this open. Now, I might have to have another seam because this part of the tail is wider than the neck. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it out. I will give it a try though. This is the part I'm guessing I'm gonna have a little trouble with. It's in here where this curly part of the tail is, because I'm gonna have to work really hard to get silicone down there. It looks good in there. See how pretty that is? I love that. I just love the way it looks. I don't know why, I just do. What I'm going to do is seal this baby up. I'm supposed to be doing homework with my son, so I might not do it until later. But I'm gonna seal this guy up and pour. I don't have this color anymore, so I'm gonna try to match that. And it really doesn't matter because the tail and the body don't have to be the same color. This silicone business is for people who are super patient, who like peeling wallpaper and doing difficult puzzles, and are very detail oriented. Because it's not easy. It's a little bit hard. And so when you look at these silicone babies that are going for, you know, $3,000 or $4,000, let me shed a little light on the cost of all of this.